Hey y'all, my name's Wormy. I'm here on my lunch break at work, and I just kind of wanted to introduce myself I want to start making content and where to about, and I may have to stop this and restart it at some point, but we are 5 days away from the Nashville Soccer Club season. I just kind of want to make an introductory video talking about my thoughts and such for what to expect during this upcoming season, things I'm excited for, and then also just allow myself to introduce myself so I can make content without having to do this whole time. First things first, I want to shout out Uncle Matt. I'm going to drop his YouTube link in the description. I've been watching a lot of his Nashville SC content, and he's kind of inspired me to start making my own or try to. So I've been following Nashville Soccer Club for about probably like a year and a half now. It's still a fairly new club, so I haven't missed too much of the history. But I just recently actually started liking the game of soccer. But we've had a extremely busy off season. The busiest that I've personally seen so far. We had, the departure of Gary Smith last season. We had Roomba come in for a bit as the interim head coach, and now we have BJ Callahan. If you don't know much about BJ Callahan, he was the assistant coach for the U.S. men's national team for a while, and I know that the head coach there was pretty awful for a while. But I'm super excited about BJ's system. I went to the open preseason match for the season ticket holders I think it's about 2 weeks ago. And obviously in a preseason match against a lower league team, we were doing stuff that we're not going to do in the regular season. We were experimental with lineups, and also, obviously, the boys in gold weren't playing at their 100%, but I think we still looked great. So just kind of, I'm going to give a rundown of the players that came in. Anything that I feel like needs to be popped up on the screen, I'll edit it in. But so last season, we got Yazbek and Perez. Perez still hasn't really shined, but we're using him so far. And Yazbek is obviously, a midfielder. He's young. He seems passionate. He signed my ball after a game on my birthday last season, so that's pretty cool. And then that was after his suspension for, we still really don't know. But that was last season that they came in kind of after the summer transfer window, I believe. So we still haven't really got to see their full form. I'm excited about it, to keep watching them. Hopefully Perez gets his time to shine, his flowers, etc. And then, so in this off season, we've got, I may miss a few names, but this is the people that have arrived. We got Eddie Tagseth. I met him. I'll throw a picture up. He was lost, and he asked us for directions at the preseason match. But man, I'm going to go a bit more into my opinion on him later in the video, but I'm excited to watch this guy play. We got Brian Acosta, and I may say some of these names wrong. I haven't looked at the pronunciations. So I'm going to pull up their player profiles just so I don't have to say every position. Palacios, Valdez, Gaston Brugman, who is he won the MVP in the last MLS Cup final with LA Galaxy last year. So he's kind of that veteran spot we need in the midfield after the departures we had, which I'm also going to get into, because we got rid of a lot of key players, but we'll talk about that further down. Najjar, Brian Schwake, and then Chris Applewhite, who is homegrown. I'm excited to see him play. Our departures, probably the one that hurt me the most was McNaughton. I met him as well. I'll throw a picture up. He had heart. He played his role good. I felt he obviously was injured a lot of last season, so that sucked a lot. But I think getting rid of him didn't make the most sense. We got I believe we got an international spot for him. I'm gonna throw it up just to fact check me. Which we ended up. It was really weird. We ended up trading that away later for GAM. And then we freed up another international slot later with Schaffelberg finally getting his green card, which we couldn't have. We couldn't have seen that coming, so I don't put that on anyone. Sean Davis, another kind of key player to our midfield. I forgot where he went. I'll throw up where he went, but I know a lot of people were pushing for him to be out. I wasn't one of those people, but he's gone. Shaq Moore, that one was another one that surprised me quite a bit because he's played with the U.S. men's national team under B.J. Callahan. So, I thought they had a connection there, and I thought that they were going to continue to build off that connection. I thought he played his role good. I thought he was a good player for us. So I was surprised to see him gone. And then this next player, everyone can thank the soccer gods. Randall Leal's gone. He's a good player whenever he's playing. He's been injured so much. He's honestly a liability. Keep him on at what we had him at. So I'm glad he's gone. I wish the best for him. He's with DC now with McNaughton, and I'm going to continue to support them from afar, except when they play us. Brian Anunga, he's gone, which I've talked to him for a while, and I tried to set up an event with him. He's always very responsive, and he's a super, super sweet, cool dude. So that hurt the heartstrings, however. He didn't play the best. He's a bit sloppy, but he's such a kind dude. I wish the best for him. When we play Cincy, I'll be watching. And I messaged him on Instagram, and I was like, hey, man, I still wish the best for you. I never thought I'd buy a Cincy jersey, but I might now. And he was like, yeah. So it sucks to see him gone, but if we're being realistic and honest in this video, I think it's for the best. Brent Coleman, old center back, didn't play too much except whenever other center backs weren't available. That's fine. He just got picked up by a USL team. I'll throw it up. So that's a good departure. Annabelle Godoy. That was one that I was a little surprised to see. He's with the new expansion team, San Diego, I believe. Throw it up. I was surprised to see him gone. I thought he was a good player. He played for the Panama national team. I thought he was fine. We may have had him too high. I forget what his salary was. But we just did with him and McNaughton, we just, at the end of last season, we did this whole, I forgot what the line was called, showstopper merch, which obviously coaching and merchandise, they can be on completely different pages. So, but I was a little surprised that we were pushing him that hard just to get rid of him a few weeks later. Same with McNaughton. He did a meet and greet event, and he was at a lot of our player appearances and stuff. He was doing a lot for the team outside of football. So I was surprised to see him let go for really a deal that didn't make a lot of sense. Maybe a physical came back and we were just concerned about that. I won't question that. Elliot Panico, he's an old goalkeeper. That was Joe Willis' second guy. It didn't make sense. We got some newer guys earlier that I mentioned, so I think that's a good departure. Drew Yearwood was another person that left that just didn't make a lot of sense to me. Ajago, I don't think he's quite MLS ready yet, but if our point was to develop our guys, then we could have put a bit more work into him from what I see. Sedgwick, Sedgwick, I don't know how to say that, but I think I saw someone else mention that he was a bit of a project before I started following and just never quite developed. So that makes sense. He wasn't really doing a whole lot. It did hurt. Like, all these departures hurt our depth quite a bit. But with the plans for this complete rebuild, we had to start doing stuff, even if it hurts us a little bit this season, which I don't think we're gonna have that big of an issue with. And then the last departure I have here is Ben Martino, a goalkeeper that was worse than Elliott, so it makes sense to have them gone. So if you already knew all that, I'm sorry. I'll try to put chapters so you can skip through it. But the preseason recap, I'd like to go through that. We won every game except the last. And from everything I could see, it looks like we have a fired-up team. We had good form, like I said earlier, experimental rotations. I'm super excited, and we lost the last game by 1 point to an MLS Austin team. So, I mean, can't really do much about that. We played very good. But, yeah. So that was the preseason recap. If you guys haven't been following, I'll throw up kind of where we ended and our record and all that. So now I kind of want to talk about my predictions for the season. I think that we have an extremely bright outlook. We have BJ Callahan. He's getting his first full season. The circumstances are different. Players are in a better mindset that this is going to be our coach. Like, let's start grinding. And so I think he's had time to sculpt the team to what he can get it at, to where he wants to get it at, which is going to be huge. And just having that time in the off season to kind of or preseason to connect and stuff is going to be huge. So I made a list of players to watch, because I think, and this is part of the predictions, BJ Callahan, he's not a player, but I think he's really going to show off his managing capability when it comes to this season, because he's had the time, he knows what he wants, and he's had the resources to make the team what he wants to make it. So I think we really need to, if we lose one game, let's not hashtag Callahan out. I don't think that's a responsible or nice thing to do. I think we need to give him proper time, which I think that we're going to have a great season. I think we're going to end way higher. I think I saw a predictions sheet from someone else where we were like second from last, and I just don't think that's going to be the case at all. I think we will finish top 8, which is, still far from 1, but compared to the seasons we had, man, we got to be appreciative of what we get. And then I think the U.S. Open Cup, I think we have a real shot at it. I think we could take home the trophy. And maybe that's me being blindly optimistic with just like the excitement around the season for me. But I think that we could win the Open Cup and finish the league in a extremely high standing, especially comparable to last few years. Sam Surridge, I know that he is kind of a player that we've had for a minute, and I think the main thing is just playing Gary ball and being in between coaches. Like, I think we just couldn't utilize him, but we gotta remember this is a striker, and he's like 26. Throw that up, fact check me. So I mean, he's in probably his best form that he's going to be in, and I think with the previous management we just couldn't utilize him, so it made him look like a poor striker, and I don't think that's the case at all. I think he's a great striker. I think he's probably one of the best in the MLS. I think we just couldn't utilize him due to management. So I think this year we're really going to be able to get him the ball, and he's going to score an unfathomable amount of goals. I think it's going to be an insane, drastic change from last season, just because I think we're going to be able to use him more. And I don't think we're going to be scared to throw him on the wing again. And he did fantastic when we threw him on the wing. He's a versatile, good striker. He's going to be able to play multiple positions for us well. We just got to utilize him the way that is reasonable. Another one is Tagsbeth. I may have said his name wrong earlier, but I'll just call him Eddie for now. But he seems like a lot of heart, and Nashville is also really pushing him as sort of the future of NSC, is kind of what I've been, like, that's the vibes I've been getting from the media that they've been putting out. And I watched him play at the preseason game, and he had some fire under him. He was going off, and I think he's going to continue to be a core heart piece for Nashville SC for the rest of his contract. And he's young, so we can keep him and utilize the hell out of him. Another player I had to watch was Julian Gaines. I think with our lack of the depth in the right back position, I think he's going to be fighting, especially against the new guy Najar, he's a bit better skill wise than Julian Gaines, but I think Julian Gaines really wants it, and whenever he played, and they started him last season, he was great. So was Taylor Washington. Taylor Washington's normally not a starter, but there was one game where he was playing his heart out. So I think that he's going to be I think every time he steps on the pitch, he's going to be fighting, and that's going to be entertaining to watch. So yeah, I'm hoping to, with this channel, I kind of talked about what I think of this season, but I'm going to go into more of my plans on the channel. I really want to eventually start a podcast that's NSC based. There's not a ton of Nashville SC content out there. There's a few podcasts that is Nashville SC based. I'll throw them up, the ones that I know of. But that's my goal for the future, is to start some sort of podcast revolving around Nashville SC. I'd like to do game day vlogs. I'll be vlogging the home opener coming up on the February 22nd. Me and some friends are traveling down there. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee, so I'm about 3.5 hours. I won't be able to make it to every game, but I will. The ones that I can make it to, I'd like to vlog about. And then also just do check-ins every now and again throughout the season, to get my thoughts on what's happening, and I'm hoping that's going to be a good season. I'm excited. I think most people are still in the same space where they're a bit hesitant, because we have been a struggling team, especially coming off of last year. But I think people are excited, but they're not trying to get too excited. But yeah, so I'm going to pop up my socials. I'll be actively posting about Nashville SC related content. And once again, shout out to Uncle Matt. He really has inspired me to do this, and I reached out to him. He offered tips and help. Super cool dude. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. If you made it all the way through, drop a like, subscribe, comment down below what you'd like to see. Yeah, don't forget to support the Backline.